The night was cold, and rain poured down like it was punishing the earth itself. Inside a dimly lit house, shouts echoed through the walls. "I'm done with you, Sarah." Daniel's voice thundered as he threw her suitcase toward the door. His eyes were full of fury, his face twisted in pain and betrayal. Sarah stood still for a moment, her body trembling. Her lips quivered, but she didn't speak. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she clutched a small silver locket close to her chest, something she hadn't shown him. She took a deep breath, her heart breaking not just from his words, but from what he didn't know. "Daniel, please," she tried to speak, but he cut her off. "No, don't. You lied to me. You hid things from me. I don't even know who you are anymore." His anger was raw, fueled by misunderstanding and wounded pride. Sarah's knees weakened, but she managed to whisper, "I wasn't lying. I was trying to protect you." Daniel laughed bitterly. "Protect me? From what, Sarah? From your secrets? From your double life?" Her tears fell faster. "If you knew the truth, you'd never forgive yourself," she whispered, almost to herself. But Daniel had already opened the door. "Get out," he said coldly. "And don't ever come back." Sarah took one last look at him, the man she had loved more than life itself, then stepped out into the rain. The door slammed shut behind her, echoing like the final beat of a dying heart. For hours, Daniel sat alone, staring at the empty living room. The photo frames on the wall, their wedding day, vacations, laughter, seemed to mock him. He told himself she deserved it. She had hidden something big. But the silence around him grew heavier by the minute, and doubt began to crawl into his mind. Sarah, meanwhile, wandered the empty streets, soaked to the bone. She had nowhere to go. Her parents were gone, and her friends had drifted away after Daniel's success. She sat down under an old bus stop, clutching that locket tightly. Inside it was a photo, of a little girl with bright brown eyes and a sweet smile. Her name was Lily. No one knew about Lily except Sarah. Not even Daniel. 3 years ago, before she met Daniel, Sarah had volunteered at a small orphanage. There, she met Lily, a frail child battling leukemia. Sarah fell in love with the girl instantly, treating her like her own daughter. But one night, the orphanage caught fire. Sarah saved Lily, but the trauma had left the child weak and afraid. When Daniel proposed to her a year later, Sarah promised herself she would one day tell him about Lily. But then, Lily disappeared. The orphanage said a man had come forward with forged documents claiming to be her father. The police never found her. Sarah spent months searching, hiring investigators, following false leads, losing sleep and weight. Daniel noticed her distance, her secretive phone calls, and late-night absences, but she couldn't explain without reopening that wound. He thought she was cheating. And tonight, that assumption had destroyed everything. Days passed. Daniel couldn't focus on work. He scrolled through old messages, searching for clues, anything to prove he'd done the right thing. Then he saw it, an old envelope hidden behind a photo frame. It had Sarah's handwriting on it. "Open only if you stop believing in me." His hands trembled as he opened it. Inside was a letter, and a hospital report. The letter read, "Daniel, if you're reading this, it means you've stopped trusting me. I never betrayed you. I was trying to find someone, a little girl who meant the world to me. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to bring pain into our home. She was sick, and I feared losing her would destroy you as it did me. But I had to keep searching. Because I believe she's still out there, waiting for me. Please forgive me if my silence hurt you. I loved you more than I could ever say. Sarah." Daniel's eyes blurred. He stared at the hospital report. It had Sarah's name, listing visits to a children's oncology unit. Suddenly, everything made sense. The secret phone calls, the hidden trips, the locket she never took off. And he had thrown her out. The guilt hit him like a tidal wave. He searched for her everywhere, called friends, visited shelters, even posted online. Days turned into weeks with no sign of her. Daniel's house felt like a graveyard. Then one morning, he received a call from a small-town hospital 2 hours away. "Sir, we found your number inside a woman's bag. She was admitted last night after collapsing near the bus station. Her name is Sarah." Daniel didn't even wait to hang up. He drove through the rain, tears streaming down his face. When he reached the hospital, he saw her, pale, weak, but still with that same quiet grace. She looked up, and her eyes softened the moment she saw him. "Daniel," she whispered. He fell to his knees beside her bed. "Sarah, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I thought." She placed a trembling hand on his cheek. "It's okay. You were hurt. I understand." "No," he said, breaking down. "I should have trusted you. I should have believed in the woman I married." Sarah smiled faintly. "There's something else I need to tell you." She reached into her bag and handed him the silver locket. "I found her, Daniel." He looked confused. "She's alive," Sarah whispered, tears spilling down her face. "Lily, she's in the same hospital. The man who took her abandoned her when she got sick again. They brought her here last week." Daniel's breath caught. He opened the locket, the same little girl's face smiled back at him. Sarah continued, her voice breaking. "She needs a family. And I can't do this alone anymore." He held her hand tightly. "You're not alone. Not anymore." A few weeks later, Daniel and Sarah walked hand in hand through the children's ward. Lily sat on her bed, drawing with crayons. When she saw Sarah, her face lit up with a joy so pure it melted every scar between them. Daniel knelt beside her. "Hey, sweetheart," he said gently. "Can I join you?" Lily nodded shyly and handed him a crayon. As they sat together, the three of them, Sarah looked at Daniel. Their eyes met, and in that silent exchange, forgiveness bloomed. The rain outside had stopped. Sunlight poured through the window, painting their faces in gold. Sarah realized then that sometimes love isn't about being right, it's about holding on, even when the truth is hidden behind pain. And Daniel knew he would never again let go of the woman who had carried so much love, loss, and hope inside her heart. Because now, he finally understood what she had been hiding all along, not a secret, but a miracle.